Hey, this is Zach Polk, Bandana Bro from Twitter, the New Blues Society for people who know on Facebook. Bluesalingus.com, baby! Bluesalingus.com. I got my website back. I bought it for 10 years. So let's see where I can sail this ship. Got a golf lesson coming up. Got some notes made, a little bit of technical assistant issue. We'll recover from that tomorrow. If I get a couple of drinks in him, he'll do what I tell him to do. You know, because he's so much smarter than I am. But, you know, life being what it is, sometimes when you're working with difficult people, it's really hard to work with people. Sometimes they insist on it. I know I'm not very reputable right now. I need a haircut. I get that. I've been on the dusty trail for a while. I just put my bar out in headband here. There we go. Anyway, all kidding aside, well, no, never mind. Sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with difficult people, you've got to find an angle on how to work with them. And it's really frustrating because in this day and age, it seems like everybody has something to complain about. They search for things to complain about, things that are outside of their control. Donald Trump, you know, his relations are, you know, the suspicion of his relations with Putin. You know, Hillary Clinton, you know, Governor Engler trying to do slant drilling under the Great Lakes for gas and oil. You know, Canada exporting their trash and us here in Michigan especially importing it. Which, ironically enough, Michigan was Canada. Yep, Canada was all fit right there in the little petty pool. No, Canada was that whole big thing. Michigan was part of it. They initially owned Canada. So, you know, technically, as far as I'm concerned, I'm Canadian by residence. You know, we have to understand and not defeat ourselves with all of the goings on of the things that are beyond our control. If you have tools, they're not organized, but you've got time to bitch and complain about what's going on in politics, you are part of the problem. Get your house in order. Delegate authority. Sometimes, in order to get something done, you need to make the people that you are depending on feel like they have some authority. It's not manipulation. It's not head games. It's psychology. You know, if you grew up on a farm, if you ever had a horse or a donkey, you know, if that beast of burden does not appreciate what's going on, it will stop dead in its tracks. Okay? If your horse is unhappy with you, you go to put the saddle on, he will blow up his gut because he's smart or she is smart. They are very intelligent. You go to put the saddle on, and if it doesn't like you, it'll blow up its gut, suck in all the air it can because it knows you're going to cinch that saddle down. You're going to tighten that belt. And once you tighten that belt, That's all there is. Okay, and it knows if it blows up its gut. You tighten that belt down to what you think is tight, or maybe you don't know how to put the saddle on. But once you go to get on and ride it, and you'll roll right off of that horse because it knew you're going to put that saddle on. It knew it'd suck its gut out. It would blow it all up and distend everything. That's D-I-S-T-E-N-D, distend. It knows that you'll fall off. You know, you're going down the trail, or you want to go down the trail, and you get on the thing and it don't want to go. It's not happy. Doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to take you for a ride because it's not happy. It's not happy with something you're doing. Okay, it's the same thing with owning a company or being in a certain amount of authority over a group of people. For one thing, if you're working with a group of people, they have to have some reason to respect you in order to listen to you. You know, a lot of times if you're a young guy and you're working with a group of people and they're older or they're the same age, you know, they don't want to listen to you because they don't see any reason to give you any respect. They don't see any reason to respect your authority. You know, they don't know what's in your resume. I mean, when you walk up to a group of people, you know, let's say you're working with one person. When you walk up to that one person and you start working with them, they don't know what's in your resume. Okay? All they know is your actions and how you communicate. And that is where it lies in, you know. If you want to work with a person, you can't go right in and start ordering them around. They feel abused. They feel looked down on. They feel demeaned, you know. And when you want to get something done, you can't make people feel that way. Forgive me, I'm a smoker. This is my office. I can do this. Point is, you have to know how to handle people. Well, just like children, you know, it's just, you're being a father. When you're working with people, you're being a father to them or a mother to them, but not in a motherly or fatherly capacity where you're overbearing down and trying to control them. You have to let them work. You have to let their enthusiasm carry their momentum throughout your day or throughout the project. Let's say you're working for a homeowner who, you know, already knows everything. You know, when you're dealing with people that already know everything, you can't tell them anything. There's nothing you can tell them because they already know. So sometimes you have to bait them into the question. You know, you have to bait them into a question. You say, well, oh my God, I see a problem here. What do you want to do about X? I know we're trying to do, you know, V, but, you know, TUVWIX, there's a couple of steps in there. We can't get to X without doing what's in between V and X. And when you allow them to look at the problem and you allow them to mull over their options and what they think are their options, then you can reciprocate with what you have to say. You know, let's say you're not on a situation like that. Let's say you're working in a factory and you've got a guy running a particular machine. You want to drive him to run that machine efficiently. But in order to drive him to run that machine efficiently, you can't be demanding of him. You have to give him his parameters, give him his boundaries, or her boundaries on what their control is. You have to illustrate and highlight that particular person's control within the situation that they are working. It's all about giving a person control. Control leads to confidence, and it leads to planting the image of security in that person's mind. Everyone who goes to work every day who is insecure, fears, is this the day I'm going to lose my job? Is this that day? That's a terrible fear. And the problem with that isn't within the company, it's within the community. The problem is that they take that insecurity home with them and they abuse their family members. And that insecurity leads to substance abuse. That insecurity leads to counterproductivity within their own family, in their own home, in their own community, in their own constituency. These are very big things. This is a very, very big thing. And it is very relative to what is going on right now in our lives, in this moment that we are breathing. We have to know a balance. Okay? One thing that you have to remember as an individual in any relationship is no matter how important you think you are, or how important you want to be, or how professional you want to be, the most important thing to remember is you do not have to know everything. It's okay not to know everything. It's okay. There's no possible way that any of us can know everything. We want to. We want to so bad. But it's okay. We are never, ever going to know everything. The only thing you need to know are two things. Okay? There's only two things that you need to know, according to Zachery, Polk, and Prospect Studios. Number one, the only thing you need to know is when to ask questions. It doesn't matter who you ask. Knowing when to ask questions is the most important thing. Number two, equally important, is knowing how to express to another individual that you think about them or that you care about them. That's it. If we can all work together here with what I'm sharing, I know in my heart that things will improve. I know things will improve. Please feel free to email me. bandanabro@yahoo. Or if you don't use Yahoo, Bluesalingus, BLUESILINGUS.com @gmail. Or if you don't like that, you prefer more brevity, ZPORAMA. ZPORAMA. At Gmail. Minus the at, just Gmail. I hope we can all learn together. I hope. I trust. And I have faith that we can unite and we can make life happen like it should be for everyone. And it starts with some of the things that I've shared. I sincerely care. I have nothing. And I don't want for much. But whether or not I'm ever going to have much more than what I see before me is not going to stop me from trying to help others. I'm here for a reason. I might be grabbing at straws a little bit for what that reason is, but maybe that's the beauty in it. Because I want to help people. And with my diversification, I think I'm broadening the capabilities of the people that I'm trying to reach. So if I do a little bit of everything, I'm hoping that a message will get out to all the people interested within that cornucopia of things. That's about it. Zachery Polk, Prospect Studio. Bandana Brothers, Bandana Bro on Twitter. And I'm looking for a wife. Maybe you're out there somewhere. I'm tired. But I ain't that tired. Peace. Love. Care. Come see me. You might find something special.